Hey friends, it's Angela, Angie Power Disney. I just want to make a quick, unscheduled video, MK SUPERSPIES. I've just communicated with, some might say in the past an arch enemy or whatever, Christine Joanna Hart. And I've also been following Marie Kayali. And the similarities are so blatant. I need to just say this. MKUltra SUPERSPIES. I can't speak for Marie. She hasn't testified about MKUltra or trauma-based mind control, but the similarities, Marie's finally started really putting some info out there. In my opinion, the information she was distracted and diverted from putting out there years ago. So she's talking about, her marriage and her involvement with the Syrian government and her working for the Ministry of Defense and GEC Marconi and so on and so forth. Like, I lived in Melksham, Wiltshire. My father's last military posting was RAF Rudloe Manor, Corsham, Wiltshire. And then when my father left Rudloe Manor, we moved to Melksham, where there's GEC and Marconi and Avon Tires. Please research that. That's gone completely under the radar, including, another cohort of my father's with the elite was the Marks and Spencer's guy. My father still has his shooting gun, traded in for a highly trained dog, Pavlov level trained. But so Christine Joanna Hart, Fleet Street journalist, front pages, 80 of them, News of the World, the fake sheikh, and lover of the leader of the real IRA, and myself, involved with the German embassy and the Saudi royal family and BCCI, the CIA funded bank, and Marie with like the Kuwaiti embassy and the Syrian embassy and the speaking Arabic and all the rest of it. It just, you have to see, like, in my opinion, the first generation of MKUltra monarchs were the likes of Grace Kelly, Lucille Ball, Honey Charles Hohenlohe. Grace Kelly married into the Monaco royal family, and Honey Charles von Hohenlohe, her full title, Her Serene Highness Princess Honey Charles von Hohenlohe. Her husband, His Serene Highness Prince Alexander von Hohenlohe, Austrian European royalty. Honey Charles was originally Patricia Wilder, originally from Macon, Georgia, and a Hollywood starlet, married 5 times married, or 3 times maybe, but married to the owner, anyway, it doesn't matter. You can do your research. It's on my blog, even on my YouTube videos, but her ultimate posting as an MKUltra asset was married into the Austrian royal family, von Hohenlohe. And I lived with her and her husband as a ghostwriter for 3 months, and she pulled out of publishing because in the meantime her husband, Prince Alexander von Hohenlohe, whose uncle created the Marbella Club, he died, Alexander died, and Honey discovered that he'd kept a high-level Spanish prostitute from Malaga. He'd housed her and financed her for 25 years or something, and she died brokenhearted. But he died first, and then his family said to her, if you publish, we will cut you off. We don't care. You know, you can fight us for legal rights as his wife or whatever, but if you publish, we'll cut you off. So the first round of monarchs, as far as I can tell, were the Grace Kellys, the Honey Charhonas, and so on. The next generation, as far as I can tell, were the likes of myself, Christine, and dare I even say, please consider this, Marie Kayali, and many, many more. The old-fashioned honeypots, the old-fashioned, highly traumatized in childhood, highly intelligent, psychic, photographic memory, you know, whatever mental giftings had been superimposed onto us by diabolical means. We were the next generation. And I just feel a huge sense of relief. You know, Christine's done bad to me. I probably badmouthed her. You know, Marie got groomed by Mackenzie Devils and, you know, found out some stuff I disclosed about my past, you know, where I let my daughter down and, you know, like nobody's perfect. We're a miracle to have survived. But I'm praying that this is a new era of us coming together. So just a brief interaction. Christine Hart got in touch with me and said, go ahead and put that video up that I copy struck you for like 4 years ago. And, you know, I admit she's saying, I admit I was scared of being trolled, which is a very valid fear, given the professionalism and the malice of Hoaxhead Research, Ricky Dearman, Karen Irving, Sheva Burton, Helen Baby, you know, Wavy Evergreen, Flow Destroyer, all these various levels of character assassins. But then Christine also said, but if you'd just taken out this bit, I would have been cool with that. But anyway, it's all water under the bridge. It doesn't matter. But the point I'm making is it's just neon lights. I don't know if we're coming to a new level of awareness, but it's like neon lights. First generation, the likes of Grace Kelly, Lucille Ball, Honey Charhoan, and so many others. Next, you know, even Kathy O'Brien. She's not that much older than me. I'm 62. Next generation, the likes of myself, Christine Hart, Nina Valentine, Marie Kayali. I assert, Marie, you know, you're not at a place and you might never be. But I, from observing from the outside, you know, I know the Arabs love the Irish. The reason I was able to work so smoothly with Saudi royals, with the Khashoggis, you know, Khashoggis, whatever you want to call them, the Al-Qurayshis, the Sarafis, you know, the reason it really struck a chord with me, Marie, when you said things like your boss wanted you to deduct €40 from a staff member's salary because she'd broken some crystal. And you said, no, that's not right. You're not doing that. And to me, that's how I was in my 20s with the Al-Qurayshis, the Khashoggis, the all of them, you know. I just, in my innocence and naivete, I just spoke out. I'm like, oh, that's not right. You can't do that. It's not right. And I remember them saying, there's something about the Arab mentality and the Irish mentality. And, you know, Christine, you've got Irish blood too. The Irish mentality is a sort of fearless, I'm going to tell you the truth anyway, you know, whatever. And they love that. And I think also, you know, truth loves that. Truth loves truth. So that's just a quick, brief, there you go. I'm loving that there's a possibility of coming back together. There's been divide and conquer. I'm still hammering it out with John Wedger, with Bill Maloney, you know, and those, you know, but I'm willing to find out who caused the divide and conquer, and let's heal it. But I'm not mushy. I'm not mushy. If somebody's being wicked, I'm not going to be seduced. But the truth is, and I said it straight from the heart, Christine contacted me out of the blue, and without even reading her message, I just said, look, I love you and I relate. We were MK super spies without a clue. You know, we didn't know why, what, how. It just gives me hope. Happy Sukkot. God bless. And Marie, I love you too. Like, you betrayed me big time. MK devils recruited you and showed you my most inglorious moments of my parenting in my life. But I'm not wicked. I'm not an abuser. I've made some mistakes. God help us, we have. Not, I'll just speak for myself. I've made some mistakes, but I'm not wicked and I'm not an abuser. And in my opinion, you were groomed, recruited by the Hampstead trolls, and then eventually they turned on you, which was inevitable. You know, I still have a heart for Kathy Morgan, Nina Valentine. You know, the divide and conquer really worked amongst us. I love Lisa Williams. You know, so many pulled together in the fear that you were dead, Marie. Not fear, but like devastation. So anyway, just maybe there's just a little chink of an opening for healing. I'm not a team player because I've learned not to trust, which is very sad. But I'm willing to have allies based on the truth. And I just feel like spiritually, there's so much going on at the moment. I don't know if you guys are even aware. This week is Sukkot. You know, it's a Jewish festival, convocation. You know, and some say, you know, the old Jewish ways are gone. We don't want to sit under a tent of snakeskin based on Baal or Behemoth or whatever. And some say, you know, these are the feasts that Jesus celebrated. But I'm telling you, this is a huge week spiritually. So any reconciliations you can make with a genuine heart, not like fuzzy bear, like, oh, I love you, I forgive you, and next week I'm going to kill you. Not those kind of reconciliations, but my heart is going out. I've fallen out with my daughter again, you know, and my mother, you know, primary relationships. So, but my heart is like, oh God, I miss Nina. You know, I missed Christine. I miss so many that were in the same boat as us. And so Thursday, you know, they're talking about President Trump's campaign rally in Dallas, and maybe JFK Jr. will be, you know, I don't know, you know, revealed, you know, and maybe all sorts of wonderful things will happen, and maybe they won't. Maybe a week from now, on the last day of Sukkot next Monday, maybe the bride of Christ will be removed. This is just pure, it's like we're living halfway between, you know, the flesh and blood world and the spiritual world. But I just feel it's a time to draw near to God. He says, seek me and you'll find me if you seek me with all your heart. And I would encourage people, don't just seek God, Abba, Yehuvah, or Yahweh, or God, the Creator, but His Son, Jesus. And don't just seek Christ consciousness Because equally, if I said to my children, right, I love the bones of you, but I'm just going to relate to your consciousness. So just go and feed, nurture, educate, protect yourselves, because I'm just going to like be in the presence of your consciousness. So if I said like, oh yeah, my Jamie consciousness or my, you know, Gabrielle consciousness, no, those are real people. And Yeshua Jesus was a real son of God. So don't insult him by saying, oh yes, I have Christ consciousness. Because try telling that to your children. You know, yes, I have Luke consciousness or I have John consciousness, but, you know, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'm on Sukkot. I'm on a day off, but I was just touched by reconnecting with Christine. I'm touched by the depth at which Marie Kyle is disclosing again. I'm touched and hurt and wounded by the upheaval in my own personal relationships, but I know they'll come good. And I'm profoundly moved by the times in which we live. Like, these are the fall feasts. These are the autumn feasts. We've had the Feast of Trumpets. This is the 8-day Feast of Sukkot, which lasts until next Monday. Thursday, in the real world, you know, they're bigging up a big Trump rally in Dallas where JFK was assassinated. You know, the resets being talked about and the Zim and the blah, blah. And even those on the edge of the eschatology field are talking about the bride of Christ being removed. So who knows? But just, it's a time to rest, but it's also a time to let your heart soften. God said he replaces a heart of stone with a heart of flesh. So as an aging MKUltra super spy asset, full of love, because I've got, you know, I have Christ in me, the hope of glory, the love of God is shed abroad in my heart by the power of the Holy Spirit. Full of love is just a shout out that if there are opportunities for genuine reconciliation, not fuzzy wuzzy bear pretend, if there are opportunities for genuine healing and reconciliations, then grab it. AngelasCashes.org, Angela Paradisney, Angie Paradisney, Facebook and YouTube. God bless.